guys. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's good to talk to you. So I just wanted to give you an update on our little piece of magical tree farm. I mean, there's been some changes, not a ton that are like super obvious, but I'll take you on a walk around and show you some of the cool things and things that have changed and things that are happening, and then yeah, let's see what happens. There's not a lot going on right now. We're got one big project that we're almost finished with, and we've got one big project that we're just getting started. And then other than that, it's just been like almost kind of like regular people stuff, like, oh, we need to mow the lawn. And we're getting ready for Uncle Earl's 60th birthday party. That's coming up in a couple weeks. So we've been doing, like I said, kind of normal people stuff. But yeah, we'll get up out of the chair and off the deck, and I'll show you a couple things. Okay, first thing I can think of is that we've now well established our fire pit. So you can see there's a grate right there. And that actually kind of swivels and moves around. It's kind of noisy, but we're gonna try it anyways. So we like to do a lot of cooking because we have lots of wood that we burn. And so this can swing around. And then, I don't know, I feel like you might get a kick out of this. So there's little notches in the post. And so we can make it higher or lower so we can cook on it. Or we can move it off to the side so it's not in the way while we're starting it. Or we can pull it out entirely if we know that we're gonna go through a time where it's just gonna get in the way. Like for the birthday part, for the end of the birthday party when we're gonna be here at the cabin and hanging out around the fire, like it'll probably just be pulled out because we'll have eaten already and won't be cooking on it. So yeah, so there's one thing. Oh, now we have an inspector. Here comes the inspector. She likes to come and check things out and make sure we're doing them properly. Pappy is, oh, she just went underneath the car. Silly kitten. Silly kitten. Okay, anyway, so that's that. Here's our big pile of sticks. We've been cleaning up the lilac bush, which I'll show you in a little bit. But this is all of the dead branches that were in the lilac bush. And so we pull them out and we just use them for firewood. And so we have some firewood stuck up over here. And all the little ends, that's how big some of our lilac wood had gotten. And we cut it up and kept it for throwing in the fire. And then some of the other wood there is just other things we've cut up over time. This is our choke cherry bush. I don't know if you guys remember me showing you that this is a bush that had berries on it, but there they are. There's just a few left. The birds have eaten a lot of them. They've gotten nice and dark. They're pretty tasty. They're a little sour. But this year, hold on. Pits. Oh, this year they're fairly sweet, but the pits are enormous because it was so dry. So they're actually really seedy. So if we eat them, we just spit the pits out right by the tree, rub them into the ground. Hopefully we'll start growing us some more bushes. But yeah, so that's been pretty good. Let's see, what else have we done? Yeah. Oh, so there's these, I don't know if I've shown you this before. There's these hooks up here. You can see there's like a hook there in the tree. So that's what they did, I don't know, 1 or 2 owners back. They had laundry lines they would string up here. And we're still debating on whether or not, Kitty, we're gonna put our laundry line up here. I have a retractable one. So it's just a big laundry line. I think it's like plasticky coated, but in it's just on like a spool, and you attach that to one end and you have a place where you can hook it on the other, and you pull it up, and then when you're done you just you unclip it from the hook and then you let it retract back, which is pretty nice. But we haven't hung it up yet because we were talking about putting it on the house, but then we'd have to put up a post, and I'm like, I think we can just put it in these trees. So that's probably what we're gonna do. Here's a closer look. So yeah, Philip, you might appreciate how big these lilac things were. You see the end of it there where it's all drying out. So like, yeah, so like this one, like that's lilac. All of this is lilac. All of these ones here, which is just extra wild. And I found growing in there, let me go back this way. I found growing in the lilac wood my own super powerful walking stick. I'm very excited. It even has a place to put a pretty rock at the top. It's kind of cool, kind of twisty, kind of neat looking. So I'm excited about that. We're gonna, I'm gonna trim it up a little bit. I also found this one, and I'm like, it looks like straight up like wizard stick. Like you can see here, like it's like wide open. It is super cool. That's actually, this is the part that was the live part of the tree, like attached to the roots, and then it was so dead but still in the tree that when we pulled it out, this is what it came out like. So it's actually pretty cool. It's all neat and twisty. I thought about trying to make that into my like walking stick, wizard walking stick, but it's too twisty and you have to mix it with another one. It just became a pain really fast, so not do that. And then this is Earl's. Hold on, I gotta put it down a little bit. Okay, so this is Earl's wizard walking, this is his walking stick. So this is actually a tree root. There was a not very alive tree, and it was mostly just a tree stump in the ground, and we were trying to smooth out the area, and so we were digging it up, and the tree root popped up, and his fire poker stick as a tree root. So yeah, so we thought that'd be cool. So he's still drying. He bent it so it has this curved shape at the top. I think he's gonna trim it off like here, and then the root split here, and so it twists around, and so he's gonna tie that off. We think it's gonna be pretty cool. So yeah. Oh, we've got a bowl for the kitties so they have water when we're outside because it's hot and they need water. So yeah, so we did that. Oh, we gotta go check out my apple trees. Oh, I did this. I filled dirt in the old fire pit. So yeah. Now we have to just throw some grass seed on it, and then it'll be grass, and then there's no more holes. Yay! Okay, check out my apple trees. Oh, they're looking kind of sad. We're gonna need some more water. It's been so dry, guys. You can just see how sad and limp the leaves are. So yeah, definitely need more water. Okay, so this bucket right here, look at that apple. So still a couple months before we can eat it. There's another one up there. There are some apples up really high that I won't be able to get my camera to focus on. But yeah, I think all total we found, oh, there's another one that's down low. So that's 1, 2, 3, down nice and low. So one of the things I've discovered is that, oh, okay, let me see if I can get both of them in frame. Okay, so, where'd it go? There it is. Okay. If you look really carefully, right past that leaf right there in that weird shape of twigs, there is another apple, and then up here at the very top, zoop, right over there, there is another apple. And I don't know if we can see any more from here. But yeah, the weird thing that we found is that all the apples are growing on the side of the tree that's closer to the house. So we don't know if they like that they don't get as much sun, or if they get more sun on the side. Not really sure, because there's some really big trees right here. Lots of shade. So we're not quite sure as to why only 6 apples and only on this side. But I think the plan for this next coming year is we're going to fertilize the trees, like down here where Goof Magoos is walking. We're going to dump lots of water and fertilizer, because a friend of ours, our neighbor of ours in town, has a smaller apple tree and he gets lots of apples. And he says he fertilizes it every couple of years. So we're going to do that, and hopefully we'll get more apples next year. And we started watering this about halfway through the season. It had dropped. We would have had more apples, but because it's been so dry, it dropped a couple. And then, yeah, so we got some cool things going on. Let's see what else. Here's the end of the lilac hedge here. Have we put that post in yet? I think that's the one we want to make as our signpost that says where you're from and what you're up to. This is our neighbor's field. Goosey likes to go exploring in it, but she's kind of crabby with them because they mowed off all the grass to make hay bales. But she will make it. She will be okay. So yeah. Goosey, you coming with us? Come on. All right. So here's our big old cottonwood tree. Doing okay, but you can see all the leaves on the ground, and it's just the beginning of August. That's because it is dry. So it is doing a little bit of self-preservation and dropping leaves early. So, yeah, we're doing our best to keep everything alive, but it's been a little intense. So, yeah, it's kind of wild. So, okay, lilac hedge. So nobody's taking care of this lilac hedge or even trimmed it in like forever. So we have lots of old dead branches like this. And they obviously, so then you have to grab your saw and climb in there and cut them out. But the nice, and see the thing is like when you're mowing, these ones, they stick out really far. Let me show you. Like, look how far that sticks out. So I'm standing next to the hedge, like in the regular place, and that's how far it sticks out. So it makes mowing a big pain. And then we used to get weeds in the edges, especially thistles. There was one day, it had rained quite a bit, and I dug out, I think like 40 thistle plants. Very few of which have come back, which is good. So anyways, so we want to get those trimmed up. There's some different things growing in here, like this. Well, that's green. That's got a weird filter on it. This is not lilac. And I'm trying to figure out what it is, because I don't know if it's just a weed that's grown forever or if it is a different kind of plant. It's not poisonous. Well, not that I'm aware of. And yeah, I'm not quite sure what it is. But it's definitely growing in with the lilacs. But we did find something cool growing with the lilacs down here. So here's all these dead branches we gotta take out. But it actually looks really good when you trim them out. Yeah. So then when you trim them out, it looks really, really nice. And it's just nice and even. And then as I was trimming, I discovered a tree. So you see that crazy wiggly, oh, I'll turn the angle. There you can see. So this tree, it's a wiggly wobbly tree, grew up in the lilac bushes. So it's an elm tree. We figured out that much. So last weekend I came in and I hacked out tons of branches from there, and so that the tree can grow. And it's already straightened out a lot. It was leaning out a lot further because there was lots of dead branches pushing on it. So that's doing really well. And then we found another one. It's over here, but it is trapped in it's trapped. There it is. There it is. Right here. This right here. That is another elm tree. So, that's for this weekend. I'm gonna climb in there and hack out these really far sticking. You gotta see how far all these branches stick. It's just wild. They're crazy. So anyways, see those branches? They're gonna go away. Yeah. So I'm gonna rescue another elm tree from the lilac hedge. And then I don't know if you guys remember, there was an open space in this one. We did this one too. We cleaned this out a little bit. So now, oh, look who's coming home. There's Uncle Earl. Anyway, so we trimmed out a lot of the dead branches and things that are in here. And so in here, oh, there's Goosey again. We're gonna put a bench in here so you can come and sit and hang out. And already, like the lilac hedge is really growing, and it's filling in really nicely. And it's always really nice and cool and shady in here. And like now, like it's catching some breeze. And there's kind of an opening on the other side too. So we're just working on trimming things up and getting them under control. Like we debated just hacking everything down. Like we honestly debated just cutting everything down because lilac trees will let you do that. The bushes, you can just cut them off right where they come up out of the ground, and then in 3 years they'll be really, really big, but they'll be really, really bushy instead of more like trees, because these are turning into trees. And it just kind of depends. But since our house is right here and it's the only thing protecting it from the dust from the road and all the stuff that comes in from the field and everything like that is these bushes, we're trying to work with them and around them. So the idea is eventually, probably after we build a new house, we'll cut the hedge off down to the bottom and let it regrow nice and bushy and just keep the bushy part maintained. We might even do that with the big one. So I don't know. But the kitties love it in here. There's Goosey, she's gonna go explore. Here's Pappy, are you coming with us too? Hi baby. She likes to rub and chew on things. She's funny. So yeah, they're gonna go in there and explore. I can just see there's nice little fun places for little people to explore in there. It'd be a good time. It's a perfect natural fort for winter. So yeah, so that was that. Haven't got the sign yet from Dad, but I think that's gonna show up for Earl's birthday. Trimmed up some trees, done a few things. Nothing extra fancy over on this end, just the normal stuff, mowing. If you have very sharp eyes, you might notice that the chicken shed looks different. Do you know what's different? So we trimmed, Earl. Earl trimmed the edges back here a little bit. It doesn't stick out as far as it used to. And we're gonna put a metal roof on it and metal sides and actually make it a little bit longer. And we got a new door for it. So now we don't hit our heads, which is awesome. And it rolls up, it's like a garage door. It's pretty cool, works pretty nice. And then we cleaned up the last of the mess that was over here. So now all of our spare fencing and wood parts and things are right here at the shed. And that's what we're gonna do on the back here. So Earl got a little bit of extra supply. So when we put the siding and the roof on, when we put the siding on the shed, we're gonna extend it back probably maybe as far back as this other little thing that looks like an outhouse, but it's not. And so that we have a place to store stuff like this, like fencing and fence posts and things like that. So it's a little bit protected and out of the way, but it's also, you know, it's safe and sheltered. And it's probably going to be a place where once we've got the fencing stuff figured out and we can get rid of the stuff we don't need, we'll stack up like extra firewood and things like that. So yeah, burn barrel. These are all branches we've cut out of the lilac bushes. And they need time to dry, so they burn better. There's our mulberry trees. They're just happy as clams. Yeah. Oh, Earl mowed. Well, not mow. He used the weed eater and whacked down all the weeds that were on the top of the island and all the grass and stuff because we want to get up there and level it out. Because I don't remember if I mentioned this or not. We're going to. So we call this the island, obviously, because it sits up a little higher. Yeah, but what we want to do is on this tree right in front of us and on this branch, we want to hang a swing. So there's a swing for people to swing on. But yeah, I think it'll be pretty cool. So over here, we've been finding like random things. So a couple weeks ago, I found this shovel and guys, it looked like a butt sticking out of the ground. It was weird. But what it was this shovel. You can kind of almost see, let me see if you can kind of see the darker part there. That's the part that was above the ground, and that's this part here, and obviously the part with dirt in it, that was the part that was under the ground. But I walked over and it felt funny. So we just keep finding things. We did the same thing with these. These are the spindles for wagon wheels. So with wagon wheels, you have the circle part, and then there's all the little spokes that come in, and there's a smaller circle in the middle, right? There we go, smaller circle in the middle. Okay, so then this piece that I just showed you is a part that goes into the middle of that, and that's what the wagon wheel spins around, and then there'd be a piece of wood connecting it to the other side. So that's what these are. So far we've found two, and they're different sizes, which means two different wagons. So yeah, we're always finding something. Baseball bats, shovels, wagon wheel spindles. Never know what we're gonna find. About the 4th of July, someone cut the hayfield. And if we get any more rain, it might do it again. I don't know. I was thinking we should walk over and say hi to the our new trees we planted. I don't know if you guys have seen the trees yet. Let's go over there.
So this, with the pretty purple flowers, is alfalfa, and it is a prime tree of cows. They really like it. This is a pretty sparse alfalfa field. It could probably be planted again. But one thing that we've discovered, and maybe we'll see them as rabbits entering, is that we have butterflies now. So we'll see what we see. But let's keep walking.
You see that? That yellow butterfly? That's one of the small butterflies we have. We've got some big ones too. They are so stinking cool looking. Okay, so these little guys are choke cherry bushes. These are the ones that were in the house a couple of videos ago. And they've been planted outside for a while now, and we bring water out and we water them. But despite the drought, I think because we've been watering them so much, they were doing pretty good. There's some weeds in there I gotta pull out, but yeah, they are doing pretty good. So we have the trees in a fence so that the deer won't eat them, because that is some prime juicy deer fodder in there. They would love those. So yeah, okay. Let's see. I think we're gonna walk over and check on the little spruce tree and then see what else we come up with. Okay, here's our little spruce tree. It's actually doing really good. It's grown a lot this year. Okay, the lighting is making it look super green. It's not really that green, but it's grown a lot past the dead stuff it had from last year, so I think it's doing okay. Well, again, we're thinking about putting a cage around it, because we kind of think maybe it's getting eaten by deer, but we're not sure. We also would like to move it, but we don't know where we want to move it to. So for now, it just hangs out here. Here's a bunch of wood. Someday I gotta drag back over to the fire pit so we can use it to toast some hot dogs or make some hamburgers or something. Also, Hannah, this is for your viewing pleasure. I'm pretty sure this eastward view is totally a Pride and Prejudice photo shoot location. It just looks like the Downs in England, where they're always shooting Pride and Prejudice movies, and I love it. Maybe not so much with the hay bales, but definitely before the hay bales were cut. The hay was cut, like it was just like tall wavy grasses. I'm like, might have to do some photo shoots where we look like we're in Pride and Prejudice. So anyway, okay, we're gonna keep walking. I can't remember if I showed you this last thing, so I'm not gonna talk about it till we get there. Stopped early. So this, you can kind of see it's a patch in the grass where it's all laid down flat. This must be a favorite spot for a deer to lay down and sleep for the night. Now, woo! Oh, that startled me. That was a bird. I don't remember if I showed you this before or not, but we discovered we have plum trees. And over this last weekend, our plums are looking ever so slightly less green and more yellow, which means they're gonna start turning. We're gonna have plums so we can make like plum jelly or plum tarts or just eat them. But yeah, I'm excited. They're, and we have a bunch of them too. So we have whole lines of trees on this side. So all of these ones are like half broken off. all plum trees. Same thing for this side of the fence. There's our boundary fence. These are all plum trees as well, and there's even more. There's a whole nother row back, and there's little ones all along this deer path here. And my assumption is they eat the fruit. They poop out the fruit, the seeds get rubbed into the dirt, and we get new trees, which is super exciting. And these are actually pretty young. Well, these are pretty old trees, but they're growing. They're really, really healthy. They've got really good growth on them. We cleaned them up a couple weeks ago because way back when, we're gonna say a good, I don't know, probably like 5 to 10 years ago, it was either big heavy snow. Oh, see, you can see how yellow those ones are looking. Before they looked really green, so they're starting to ripen. Anyways, so 5-10 years ago, we were thinking it's a big heavy snow came through, snapped off a bunch of the plum trees, and what had happened is that it all landed on our fence. You can see how far down into the grass it is. So we wanted to fix it, so we came back here. I came back here to look at something, and I was checking out the fence, and then I realized that we had plum trees, which I thought was super cool. So then probably about a month ago, we were back here and we cut all the branches, the dead branches from the fence that were on the line, so that hopefully, we're kind of like fingers crossed hoping we don't have to restring it, that we can just salvage the lines that are on there and they haven't been stretched too bad, because it's not like a keep things in or out fence, it's just a boundary line fence, so we're not too worried about it being stretched super tight. So I don't know, we will see what happens, but I'm excited to show Earl that the plums are starting to turn, as they are most definitely yellow and they were definitely green last week. So that's exciting. Yeah. So here's some of the branches we were taking out. And so our trees on our side got snapped off, but they are still growing and they've got a few plums on them. But this tree here is the first one I noticed that had actual plums on it. Yeah, they're really starting to turn. That's awesome. So yeah, we'll walk out the deer path. See, now like this tree, it was definitely having a lot of issues before. We cut a lot of dead off of it. So the plums are going to be real small and probably not very tasty, but it's okay because we're not the only ones that are going to eat them. Birds are going to eat them and deer are going to eat them, and I don't need this many plums. But yeah, and so then here there's even, this is a big pile of the branches and stuff that we cut off of the trees, stuff that was dead, or stuff that was like already snapped off and on the ground, and so yeah. So up here in the big open space is where we've been seeing these really beautiful big yellow and black butterflies. So I'm going to go walk up there and see if they're going to come out and say hi. Oh! No, come back. There's a monarch. Do you see it? And it goes flying that way. Yeah, so this is just one day, we had butterflies. So it's pretty cool. Oh, hey look, there's even more plum trees in there. We get a lot of those. See the butterfly up there? That is a butterfly. Oh, it disappeared into the trees. Yeah. Butterflies are cool. And then other than that, it's just that orange one. Other than that, not too many new things. Oh, just kicking butt and taking names. The grass gets really tall in the the really densely wooded section. It definitely reminds me of a childhood movie that shall not be named, where they say don't go in the tall grass for the adults watching. Don't want to spook the people who are not adults that are watching. But yeah, I can do it. I'm not going to do it today because I'm definitely wearing a skirt. But it's still awesome. It's really nice. You can see places where the deer have laid down, and there's new trees growing and old trees growing, and yeah, it's super awesome. Oh, someone's coming down the road. Who's this? Oh, watch this. This will be cool, guys. I'll slow it down. That was pretty neat. Well, I think that's everything that I've got that's new or changed or updated or anything like that. As always, if you guys have questions or if you want to point out things that I didn't point out, because I know one time, like, I think you saw a bunny rabbit and I didn't see it. Anyway, yeah. It was good to talk to you guys again. I hope you like the updated tour. I think you should try making videos of your own. So, anyways, I will talk to you later. Have a wonderful day. Love you.